Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about mistakes, how mistakes can change outcomes of the game, and not just the outcome of the game, but your personal win rate, your damage, etc, etc, etc. And I'm not just we're gonna watch a battle done from a guy that actually was an amazing battle. But when we do watch these OP replays as such, we do kind of look at the negatives as well. And you know, because it helps players. We want to help players. And me just showing a 9,000 battle and etc. I know I do anyway, but. You know, when we talk about it, we always have to try and find negatives, because even though you might be able to do 9,000 battle damage, if you just done these few little changes, you could have actually got 10,000 damage. And that is exactly what we are going to see in this replay. So this guy, Watt Blitz, NA, a Panzer Kid, in the 50 Amex in the Foch 155. Now, as I've said, he does an amazing job, but within the whole battle, he does one mistake. Yes, one mistake. Later on in the game, you could say he could have gone quicker, but you know, if he would have gone quicker, he might have lost, and etc, etc. But there was just one mistake, and the mistake he made was a very small mistake. But that small mistake cost him over 10,000 damage, and it cost him the win. But you know, I'm not being completely negative, because it was a fantastic battle on his behalf. He did everything right until this one moment. So you can see he's in the Foch, and he's not playing it like a proper TD. He wants to go forward. He wants to go as far forward as he possibly can. He's playing the single shotgun. He's not playing the auto loader. You know, that is selected. That is what, if you want to play the single shotgun, that's fine. They're both very good. And clearly he prefers the single shotgun over the auto loader. So again, that is absolutely fine. So not many tanks were actually spotted, so he decided to move on a bit further. Now, the mistake doesn't happen until almost the very end. So, but we're going to talk about that when it gets down to it. So as you can see, the T55 and of course the Object 268, which he has a very nice ammo rack, and that now destroys one tank destroyer that could be very dangerous in a matter of seconds. Now the team is split. You can see the team are split. There's some gone right, well, only a couple gone right, and there's only now probably one tank onto the left. So he's ignoring the tank that went onto the left, and he's going to try and get some shots off on these red tanks at the right, because he knows he can get into a position where he can get damage. Now, he is pushing a bit further forward, which I probably wouldn't do, because there is the base being capped, so he has the chance now to be spotted, where he was, he probably wouldn't have been spotted. But you know, he's still managing to do a bit of damage. He's not yet spotted, and every time he does shoot, I do like the fact that he is kind of backing up just to make sure he doesn't get spotted. So I like that. That is a good thing to do, because of course, if he's getting damage, if there's opportunity to get damage, then yeah, you want to stay where you are. And at the minute, he's having plenty of opportunity to get that damage. It's now a 4 versus 5, so there's still a lot of work to do. Now you've got the mouse there, you've got the 50 TP. He is now spotted, so he does have to back up and just pay a little bit more careful. But you can see him looking around. He's looking, the mouse may be looking at him, which he is, but he manages to get a bounce, and he does go for that miss. Now personally there, I would have probably gone for the mouse, because that shot on the 50 TP was pretty difficult. It was running past. I would have probably gone for the mouse, but he's ignoring the mouse, maybe because he is sitting there thinking the mouse is not really a dangerous target later on in the game. I would rather take care of the dangerous targets first, which again is absolutely fine, and I do understand that completely. So now it is a 3 versus 5. It's getting a lot more difficult. So a nice shot there on the VK. Again, the VK is a very dangerous target, and you still have that mouse sitting there. Now, the main target for me would, of course, be the Death Star. I would want to clear that Death Star as soon as possible. Either the Death Star or, of course, the Object 907, because that is the tank with DPM and speed. He didn't have any targets, so he does get the shot on the mouse. So that now brings him up to 6,600 damage. You can see the object is a one shot. He's just waiting. He wants that shot, and if he would have just kept aiming, he would have taken that shot. So a little mistake there, but not a massive mistake. So as you can see, there are now 3 one-shot tanks. Now the VK is there. He's trying to get the shot on the VK. Doesn't quite do it. He just wastes a tiny bit of time there, you know, but again, I wouldn't say that was a massive mistake. He does get a shot on the Death Star instead. So as you can see, there are plenty of low hit point targets. Now again, the mouse, it was the only shot available at that time. I maybe would have waited a little bit because, you know, it wasn't a dangerous target. And now he is going for the 907, which is right. He does get shot for the Death Star, but that was the right move to make, to get that shot on the 907, to clear him, 1 tank down, and it is now a 1 versus 3. Now, apart from this Death Star, there is, well, now all 3 tanks are a one shot. So he really has to focus on clearing this Death Star. And here is the mistake he makes. Now, when you are in this situation, knowing that you can easily win this, you just need to take a bit of time in taking your shots. And as you can see there, he just rushed his shot. He rushed it just a tiny bit. He misses his shot, and he gets shot from the Death Star, losing a considerable amount of damage. And that, for me, was the only mistake he did that game. He could have just sat there aiming, wait for the opportunity, then get the shot. But he decided to sort of quick fire it, quick shot it, and sadly, he didn't penetrate, and he got penetrated from the Death Star. But so far, 4 kills, 9,300 damage, and he could still win this. He has the tungsten shells, so if he uses the tungsten shells, he could clear the VK. But again, now because he took that shot from the Death Star, he is a one shot to this VK. Now, I know what he's trying to do here. He's trying to get the HE, he's trying to reset the cap, and he's just trying to bring his hit points down a little bit more. So he is definitely a one shot, because 625 hit points isn't, you know, it doesn't mean he's going to clear him. And there is high chance that he's going to still leave them on just below 100 hit points. So I can see why he was taking the shot, because he only has the heat left as well. So to get that much alpha, even with tungsten shells, is going to be a bit tricky. So with 30 seconds left on the clock, again, he could have made his move, but it all depends, you know. Do you want to go for the win, or do you want to play it out and go for the draw? There's no wrong there. So people would say this was a mistake, that he just sort of sat there too long, but going for a draw, you know, it's not that bad going for a draw. I like the fact that he is ignoring the 50 TP. He's used the tungsten shells, and he does get the kill on the VK. Now that is a shame, because he can now actually take a shot from the 50 TP, but sadly, just no time. If he would have had the hit points, he could have rushed in earlier. And again, I know what people are going to say, he took too long. Yes, when you've got that much damage and when you've got that low hit points, you are going to take long, because he wants to win. He doesn't want to lose, and he didn't lose. That is the ultimate fact, that he didn't lose the game. The ultimate fact here is he made one tiny error, and it actually cost him. But other than that, it was an absolutely fantastic replay. Very, very nice shots. Of course, a very nice ammo rack, and a very, very nice amount of damage. But I wanted to show it because, you know, one mistake can change the outcome of the game completely. And that, sadly, that is what happened this game. If you think you could do better, send me your replays, meadsyreplays@hotmail.com. I'd love to see them, because when it's games like this, you have to show them. And again, I wanted to show it, and I wanted to speak through it, just so people sort of maybe even learn a little bit, and, you know, just taking an extra 0.2 seconds, he could have actually got over 10,000 damage. So let me know what you think. Do you think he made more mistakes? Do you think that was even a mistake and it was a different mistake? Let me know in your comments below. But for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69 and I'll catch you all soon. Bye-bye.